All right, so you've sent us like a mountain of info on AI for real estate. It seems like you're ready to seriously shake things up in your business.
Yeah, from what I've seen, AI can be a total game changer for realtors, like seriously transform how you work.
For sure. But I totally get it. It's like everyone's talking about AI,
Hmm.
and it can be so overwhelming to know where to even begin.
Right.
So let's ditch all the tech jargon and really just focus on the practical stuff. Like, how can AI actually make your life as a realtor easier and, help you hit those big goals you've got?
Absolutely. And the podcast episode you sent, Real Estate Revolutionized, it really does a good job of laying out the struggles realtors face every day. Like, the crazy long hours,
Oh, yeah.
the juggling a million different tasks,
Mhm.
always feeling like you're behind. Does that sound familiar?
Tell me about it. But
Yeah.
what if AI could actually, like, give you back some of those hours
Yep.
and let you, actually enjoy life again?
I think that's what we're going to try to unpack today.
I like it.
And that podcast had some really interesting success stories. Like, remember Sarah, the realtor in Phoenix? She was just drowning in leads, just couldn't respond to them fast enough.
Yeah, I remember that.
But then she started using AI and she got her response time down to like under 5 minutes.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like insane. And her conversion rates, they went way up too.
It's amazing how much of a difference that speed makes, right? It really shows you how important it is in today's market and how AI can give you this like real edge.
Totally. And it's not just about being fast. It's about like making the whole experience better for your clients. Because think about it. If you were buying or selling a house, wouldn't you want an agent who was super responsive, always there when you needed them?
Absolutely. In this world where everyone wants everything instantly, AI can really help you meet those expectations and build that trust.
For sure. And remember Marcus. He was the one who was totally lost with social media.
Oh, yeah, he was feeling super overwhelmed.
But he managed to create like a whole month's worth of content in just like 90 minutes using AI.
Yeah. And that led to a ton more referrals for him, didn't it? It's just incredible how AI can take those time-consuming things off your plate so you can focus on what really matters, like building those relationships.
So true.
Yeah.
Okay, but where do we even begin with all this AI stuff? The podcast talked about something called the AI automation pyramid, which sounded pretty important.
Yeah, it's a really good way to think about how to use AI strategically. It breaks it down into these 3 levels: foundation, personalization, and then prediction.
Okay, break it down for me. What's involved in each level?
So think of it like building a house, right?
Okay.
The foundation is all about automating those basic repetitive tasks. The things that eat up all your time, like scheduling appointments, sending reminders, managing your database, all that stuff.
Got it. So it's like laying the groundwork for a more efficient way of working.
Exactly. Once you have that solid foundation, then you can move up to personalization. That's where you use AI to tailor your communication to each client, their needs, what they're looking for, all that.
So like sending personalized proper suggestions based on what their search criteria or even like their browsing history.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And then right at the top of the pyramid, you have prediction. This is where AI starts to anticipate your client's needs before they even know they have them, helps you stay one step ahead.
Whoa, that sounds almost futuristic. But I can see how that would be super valuable.
It is, but the key is to start small, right? Master one level before you move to the next. Don't try to do everything at once.
Right, because that's how you get totally overwhelmed and end up giving up.
Exactly.
It's more about finding those right tools for your needs and slowly integrating them into how you work.
Yeah, and there are some really amazing tools out there now, like ChatGPT and Claude. Those can help you write things. You've got Zapier for automation. Canva Magic Design can make some pretty stunning visuals.
It's kind of mind-blowing how much AI can do, but how do we even know which tools are right for us?
The podcast had a good suggestion. Think about your biggest bottleneck right now. What's the one task that just sucks up all your time and energy?
So like if I'm spending hours every week creating content for social media, maybe I should look into a tool that can help me automate that.
Exactly. Or if it's paperwork that's drowning you, there are AI tools that can digitize and organize everything. It's all about finding the right tool for the job and using it to streamline your workflow.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not about using AI for everything. It's about using it strategically to, solve those specific problems and make your life easier.
Exactly. And, the podcast actually shared some inspiring case studies. Remember Michael Ramirez? He was a solo agent who was just buried in administrative work.
Oh, yeah. His story was incredible.
He managed to cut his workload by, over 20 hours a week by using AI.
And his income went way up too, didn't it? Something like 41%.
Yeah, just by implementing a few AI tools.
I'm starting to see how this could be a total game changer. It's not just about saving time, it's about, actually boosting your bottom line and building a more successful business.
Absolutely. And it's not just for solo agents. Remember Alexandra Chen, who works in the luxury market? She was struggling to keep up with her clients and still have a life.
Oh, yeah. I remember her story. She finally got to take a vacation for the first time in 5 years because of AI.
It really shows you how AI can not just improve your business, but your whole life. Finding that balance and making time for what really matters.
I love that. This is all super exciting. But I have to admit, there's this part of me that's a little hesitant. Like, what if I start sounding like, a robot?
I get that. It's a valid concern. But the podcast actually addresses that directly. They have a whole framework for how to keep your authentic voice, even when you're using AI.
Okay, tell me more. How do we avoid becoming like those robotic real estate agents everyone's afraid of?
They start with something called voice capture, which is all about documenting your own unique communication style. How you write emails, how you interact on social media, how you talk to clients, everything.
So it's like creating a blueprint for the AI to follow, right?
Exactly. By giving the AI examples of your writing and speaking, you're essentially teaching it to sound just like you.
That makes me feel a lot better. It's not about replacing our voice, it's more like amplifying it and making it consistent across all our channels.
Exactly. And it's not just a one-time thing. The podcast really emphasizes this idea of continuous refinement. Like you're constantly monitoring the AI and making adjustments so it always reflects how you communicate now.
So it's like this dynamic partnership where we're learning from each other and constantly improving the quality of our communication.
Exactly. It's about using AI as a tool to enhance those human skills, not replace them.
I'm starting to see the real potential here. But, we've talked about all the benefits, but I think there are still some doubts, like those what-ifs that keep us from taking that leap.
Yeah, for sure. Let's tackle those head on. The podcast covers a lot of common concerns, and I think their answers will really put your mind at ease. Like, one of the first things they talk about is that fear of, what if I'm just not tech savvy?
Yeah, I'm not exactly a tech genius. Can I still benefit from AI?
Absolutely. The podcast really emphasized that you don't have to be some kind of tech whiz to succeed with AI. It's more about having clear processes and goals.
That's reassuring. It's not like I need to become a programmer overnight. It's more about understanding how AI can help me achieve my business goals.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, AI is getting easier and easier to use all the time. What might seem super complicated today could be as simple as using your smartphone in a few months.
That makes sense. Technology is always changing, and AI is no exception.
Right. And while we're on the topic of change, let's talk about another worry. What if these AI tools become outdated really quickly?
Oh, yeah. I've heard that too. It would be a bummer to invest in something only to have it be useless a few months later.
The podcast suggests this idea of a modular approach. So instead of building a rigid system that's hard to change, you create a more flexible framework that can adapt as new technologies come out.
So it's about being adaptable and staying ahead of the curve, which is something realtors are already pretty good at.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. There are lots of resources and experts out there who can help you through the whole process and find the right tools.
We've covered a lot here. We've talked about how AI can help realtors, the importance of keeping your own voice, and how to overcome some of those initial hesitations.
Yeah, we've seen how realtors like Michael and Alexandra have used AI to get amazing results, both in terms of growing their businesses and finding more balance in their lives.
It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize the whole real estate industry. But it's not about letting AI take over completely. It's more about finding that balance between using AI and keeping our own expertise and intuition.
Well said. It's about using AI to make us better at what we do, not to replace us.
Okay, I'm really feeling the potential of AI, but there's this nagging thought. What about my clients? Will they feel like they're dealing with a robot if I start using AI tools?
I think that's a question a lot of us are grappling with. We want to be efficient, but not at the expense of that personal touch that's so essential in real estate. What's fascinating is that the Real Estate Revolutionized podcast directly addresses this concern, and they offer a framework for using AI while maintaining authenticity.
All right, break it down for me. How do we make sure AI enhances our client relationships rather than making us seem detached?
They start with a concept called voice capture, which is basically like creating a communication fingerprint. Before diving into any AI tools, they suggest taking stock of your existing style. What are those phrases you always use? What's your typical email structure? Are you more formal or laid back in your tone?
So it's like teaching the AI to speak my language, with all its quirks and inside jokes.
Exactly. You're feeding it the data it needs to sound like you, not some generic bot. They even suggest going back through old emails, social media posts, even video recordings of client interactions to capture those subtle nuances.
Wait, so I should be showing the AI my best dad jokes and awkward attempts at viral reels.
Well, maybe not all of them, but the more data you provide, the better the AI will be at mimicking your unique style, which is crucial for building trust and rapport.
This is starting to make sense. It's not about handing over the reins completely. It's about training the AI to become an extension of my own communication style.
And remember, even we don't communicate the same way in every situation, right? A quick market update to your entire client list calls for a different tone than a personal congratulations message to a first-time homebuyer.
Oh, absolutely. I'm much more casual when I'm initially connecting with new leads. But once we've built a relationship, I might share a funny anecdote or even a GIF that relates to their interests.
And that's where AI gets really interesting. It can be programmed to understand these nuances and adapt its communication accordingly. You can essentially say, hey, AI, when I'm sending a reminder, keep it short and sweet. But for a formal proposal, I want you to sound more professional.
So it's not just about replicating my voice. It's about replicating how I tailor my communication to different contexts and individuals. That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. AI is getting incredibly good at picking up on those subtle cues and adapting its style. But the podcast also stresses the importance of continuous refinement. It's not enough to just set it up and forget about it.
Right, because as we gain more experience, our communication style might evolve. We might find new phrases that resonate with clients, or we might want to adjust our tone as the market shifts.
Exactly. It's an ongoing process. You're constantly monitoring the AI's output, making tweaks, and ensuring it's always reflecting your current style and brand.
It sounds like a true partnership, where the AI is constantly learning from me and I'm learning how to leverage its strengths. But let's be real, some clients might still be wary of AI. How do we address those concerns?
The podcast suggests transparency, but with a focus on the client's experience. For tasks like scheduling or sending market updates, clients might not even need to know AI is involved. They just notice things are running smoother.
Okay, so let the results speak for themselves in those cases. But what about more personalized communication, like property recommendations or detailed market analyses?
Then it might be wise to be upfront, but frame it as a benefit. Instead of saying, hey, a robot wrote this email, you could say something like, I'm using cutting-edge technology to ensure I can analyze market trends and provide you with the most tailored recommendations possible.
That's a much better approach. You're positioning AI as a tool that empowers you to serve your clients better, which is ultimately what they care about.
Exactly. And let's face it, AI is already woven into our daily lives. We rely on personalized recommendations from Netflix and Spotify. We trust navigation apps to guide us. And we even use voice assistants like Siri and Alexa without a second thought.
It's true. AI is becoming so commonplace that it's losing that sci-fi stigma. But I still wonder, will it eventually replace realtors altogether? That's a question I hear a lot.
It's a valid fear, but the podcast offers a really reassuring perspective. They argue that while AI excels at analyzing data, automating tasks, and even generating text, it still lacks the human element that's so crucial in real estate.
Because buying or selling a home is such an emotionally charged experience. It's about so much more than just finding the right square footage or price point.
Exactly. It's about understanding a client's dreams, their anxieties, their unique needs. It's about building trust and navigating complex negotiations with empathy and finesse. These are all things that AI, at least for now, can't replicate.
So it's not about AI versus realtors. It's about AI and realtors working together to create a more efficient, personalized, and ultimately human-centered experience.
That's the key takeaway. The podcast hosts even suggest that AI could make realtors more human by freeing us up from those tedious tasks that drain our time and energy.
Imagine having 20 extra hours each week to spend building relationships, nurturing leads, and going above and beyond for your clients. That's the real power of AI.
And it's not just a theoretical concept. Remember those case studies we discussed earlier? Michael Ramirez, the solo agent who reclaimed over 20 hours a week and saw his income skyrocket.
His story is a perfect example of how AI can level the playing field for smaller players in the industry. He was able to compete with larger agencies without sacrificing his personal touch or independence.
And then there's Alexandra Chen, who used AI to scale her luxury real estate business without compromising her commitment to personalized service.
Her clients actually preferred the AI-powered experience because it meant faster response times, more tailored recommendations, and a seamless transaction process.
These are real-world examples of how AI can enhance our client relationships and create a win-win situation for everyone involved.
Okay, so we've seen the potential benefits, but how do we actually get started with AI? It can feel overwhelming to know where to begin.
The podcast offers some practical advice here, too. They suggest starting by identifying those tasks that are sucking up your time and causing the most frustration.
So, for example, if I'm constantly battling email overload, maybe I should explore an AI tool that can help me prioritize messages or even draft responses.
Exactly. Or if you're spending hours each week creating social media content, maybe an AI tool can help you generate engaging posts and schedule them in advance. It's about finding the right tool for the job and integrating it into your existing workflow.
I love that. Start small, focus on those pain points, and gradually build from there. But I think it's also important to acknowledge that AI isn't a magic bullet. There are some potential downsides that we need to be mindful of as we navigate this new landscape.
You're absolutely right. While AI offers incredible opportunities, we can't just blindly adopt every new tool without considering the potential pitfalls.
So let's dive into those potential pitfalls. What are some things we should be wary of as we integrate AI into our businesses?
One thing that I think comes up a lot, especially in a field like real estate, is data privacy and security. We're dealing with, really sensitive client information, and we need to make sure that the AI tools we're using are handling that data responsibly.
That's a really good point. I mean, it would be a total disaster if client data ended up in the wrong hands because we weren't careful about, the tools we were using.
Exactly. So when you're checking out different AI solutions, really look for companies that prioritize data security and privacy. Ask about their encryption protocols, their data storage practices, how they comply with, all the relevant regulations.
So it's like, just like we would vet a contractor or a partner, we need to vet the AI tools we bring into our business too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just about protecting your client's data. It's also about, protecting your own reputation, building trust with your clients. They want to know that their information is safe with you, and choosing those right AI tools shows that you're committed to that.
It's all connected, right? Data security, client trust, and ultimately our success as realtors.
Absolutely. And speaking of success, another potential pitfall to kind of be aware of is setting those unrealistic expectations. AI can be so powerful, but it's not like a magic wand. It's not going to just instantly transform your business overnight.
Right. It's not like those get-rich-quick schemes you see everywhere online.
Yeah.
AI takes work, just like everything else in our business.
Exactly. It's about setting those realistic goals, understanding what the technology can and can't do, and being patient. Remember those case studies we talked about? Michael and Alexandra, they both achieved those incredible results, but it didn't happen right away. They put in the work, learned how to use the tools, and gradually integrated AI into what they were already doing.
It's a journey, right? Not just a destination. And like any journey, there are going to be bumps in the road. We might hit some glitches, have to change our approach, maybe even give up on some tools that just don't work for us.
Yeah, that's just part of the process. And that's where, that whole idea of continuous learning really comes in. We've got to be adaptable, willing to experiment, open to new ideas and ways of doing things.
It's exciting and a little scary all at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes this whole AI thing so fascinating. It's pushing us to grow, to innovate, to really rethink how we do business.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about using AI to enhance those human skills and create a better experience for our clients. It's about using technology to build stronger relationships, provide that more personalized service, and help people achieve their goals.
Yes, said. I think this deep dive has given me a lot to think about. What would you say is like the one key takeaway you'd want everyone listening to really walk away with?
I think it boils down to this. Embrace the potential of AI, but do it thoughtfully and strategically. Choose tools that align with your values. Use them ethically and responsibly, and never stop learning and adapting. AI is a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it wisely.
I love that. Wield it wisely. It's a good reminder that we're the ones in control here, and we have a responsibility to use it for good.
Exactly. And as you kind of, start exploring AI, remember the human element. Use it to make those relationships stronger, not to replace them. Let it free you up to focus on what really matters. connecting with people, understanding what they need, and helping them reach their dreams. I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
That's the real magic. Imagine what you could do with an extra, like 20 hours in your week. What would you do with all that free time? Spend more time with your family, maybe finally start that passion project you've been putting off, get more involved in your community. I mean, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
So go for it. Explore the world of AI and see how it can help you, unlock your full potential, both professionally and personally.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI for realtors. We'll see you next time.